right, here we are. So welcome to our class today, Therapeutic Yoga. And we are focusing on the element of fire today. And this is near and dear to my heart as I had a huge bonfire on the weekend, burned the old siding from my house. And if any of you have been here, I know some of you, many of you have been here, you know that desperately needed to happen. Right, so the old siding, most of it came off, it's gone in the fire pit, it's all burned up. And the idea of fire in the ancient tradition of India was about many different things actually, but one of the main things was about purification, right? So we put something in the fire and it becomes purified. The fire burns it up and purifies it. So when the idea is that we have fire sort of in our bodies, and figuratively speaking, right? And the placement of fire is right here around the solar plexus where the ribs come together. It's considered our power center or our fire center. So kind of gives us that fiery energy, that get up and go, sort of lighting a fire under us, kind of, so to speak. So purification and energy, right? Fire is full of energy. It's going to get us going and warm us up and keep everything moving and flowing. So we're going to start seated. You can sit in a chair or you can sit on the floor, whatever is comfortable for you. And we'll do a little bit of breath work to begin with. Usually, there we go, the light kind of adjusts and somehow I still look pretty dark, but hopefully you can see me. And then it looks okay. So you can bring your hand to this area of the solar plexus here. So sort of at the bottom, or if you follow the two ribs up to where they meet, sort of in that place, you can bring your hand there. And we'll do a breath technique that's very, very simple. You can make your mouth into a little pursed shape. So you're almost like you're blowing out through a straw. You'll inhale normally. And as you exhale, you're pulling in at the belly. Then slowly blowing out through your pursed lips. So we're just trying to slow the exhale down a little bit by making the mouth, the opening a little bit smaller like that. So you're breathing in and exhale. Pulling the belly in. Your exhale is just as long as is comfortable for you. You don't have to make it extra long, so you definitely don't want to strain. So you're working just with a nice, easeful breath. You might even imagine blowing on the embers of a fire with that very concentrated breath to kind of get the embers sparked up. So we'll take a few more breaths like that. Right, and then let your breath return to normal. You can bring your hands, arms down alongside your body. We'll lift the shoulders up, breathing in, exhale, and releasing down and back. Inhale, lift, exhale, down and back. And then letting the shoulders come down, taking the arms to the sides, breathing in and lifting up. Bring the fingertips together if you like, and then exhale, releasing down. Inhale, lifting. Bend your arms if you need to, and if it feels like a strain to bring the hands together, just leave them apart. Exhale down. A couple more. And then letting the hands come onto the thighs or the knees. Pause for a moment. You can close your eyes if they're open. If that feels right for you, you can certainly leave them open if you prefer. And really let your belly relax now. So let this whole area relax. Take a few breaths here. And you might even imagine a little flame at the solar plexus where the ribs meet. And as you breathe with nice, gentle, subtle breaths, so nothing forceful or strong, just gently fanning the flame of that inner fire. Fire of purification and of motivation. What fires you up this morning? What gets you going? What gets you excited? What motivates you? And as you breathe and you imagine that motivation, that fire burning, imagining that flame in the belly, bringing motivation, purification. And then let's take the arms to the sides again. Take a breath in, reach all the way up. And as you exhale this time, let your body hinge forward, hinging from the hips, letting the head come down. And then you'll inhale and lift again. And exhale, come forward again. Do a couple more at your own pace. Great. And then this time as you come upright, stay upright and lower the hands onto your thighs. And we'll do some circles. So circling the torso around. And those can be big circles or small circles, whatever feels good in your body. You can go in one direction and then go the other way. So warming things up, bringing a little gentle fire into the joints. Fire warmth really more than heat. Great. And then let's come back to the center. You can either have one hand on the chair, or if you're on the floor, fingertips could be on the ground beside you. And we'll lift up the opposite arm, taking a breath in. And as you exhale, reaching over to the side. And inhale, come back to center. You can lower the arm each time if that works better for you, or you can leave it up in the air. But either way, we want to work on exhaling as we go to the side. Inhaling to center. If you need to take extra breaths to be comfortable, or if that breath rhythm doesn't work for you, just find your own. Feels good. Now you can stay for a few breaths, reaching to the side and pressing down on that sit bone on that side while you reach up with the fingertips. It's not about going as far as you can to the side by any means, but really feeling that length and then sending some breath into that space all around the bottom of your rib cage into the side of your waist. Right, we'll come back to the center. You can bring that other hand, the hand that was up, to the seat or of your chair or to the ground. And then coming up. So we'll breathe in here, exhale, take it over to the side. Breathing in, and then exhale to the side. Again, if it feels better to follow a different breath pattern, feel free, whatever feels right for you. The main thing is that you're not straining or creating tension with your breath. And then this time when you go to the side, you can stay for a few breaths. Notice this arm that's supporting you. Are you kind of crunching your shoulder up, or can you keep that shoulder down and relaxed? That might mean bending the arm a little more. And then you're pressing down into the sit bone on that side, reaching up with the arm, and breathing into the side ribs, into the waist. And then coming back up to the center, releasing that arm down. We'll bring the hands onto the thighs and move in the cat-cow kind of movement. So inhaling, little arch, exhaling, and rounding. Being cautious of your neck. So as you come upright, try not to let the head fall back behind your shoulders, which will strain the neck. So think about keeping control of the head at all times. Although you can really let the head relax forward as you come into the rounded position, as long, again, as that feels comfortable for you. Gently stoking that inner fire with movement. So we're inhaling and sending the breath down into this area, exhaling, gently squeezing in. Finding your inner fire, what motivates you, what gets you going, what lights a fire under you. Great. And let's come back to the center. Nice long spine. Take the arms to the sides, breathing in. And as you exhale, twisting one direction, one hand can come to the chair or both hands to the leg. As you turn to the side, lifting your spine tall, and then you'll come back to center, breathing in, and you'll twist the other direction. Coming up, and to the side. Thinking about lengthening your spine each time. And then if you like, you can stay to one side. So use the hand behind you, either on the ground or the chair, to lift up tall. So you're pressing down to lift your spine. The other hand is resting against the leg. You can turn to look over your shoulder. We'll take a few breaths. And then to the center. And we'll go the other way. Again, use that hand behind you to support length. Chin slightly down towards the shoulder behind you. And then coming back to the center, reaching both arms up. And we'll come back into another forward bend. Exhaling, coming forward. Inhaling to lift. If it feels good for you, stay in that forward bend for a few breaths. The hands or the elbows can rest on the legs, or you can bring your chest right down onto your thighs if that's available to you, whatever feels good. Again, try to let your head relax so that there's no tension in the back of the neck. See if you can feel your breath in the bottom of your back ribs now, so that the back side of this area we've been focusing on. When you're ready, we'll come all the way up, reaching up overhead, exhaling to release. And then let's come to stand, coming upright. You can take your feet a little wider, bring your hands to your hips, and do some gentle circles with your hips. You can circle in one direction and then go the other way. Stirring up the fire. Movement gets everything kind of warmed up in the body. And we know if we don't kind of stir up and kind of keep the fire going, it goes out and we get chunks of wood that haven't burned. So we want everything to be really nicely flowing with our fire today. Coming back to the center, you can release your arms down to the sides. For the next one, you'll probably want to have a chair, or it could be if you're near a table, or even the couch perhaps. So something that you can bring your hands onto. So I'm going to use my chair here. So what you want to be able to do is have your hands on the surface, either the chair, or if you want to be a little higher, it could be counter or table. And then you want to find your hands underneath your shoulders, and I find it's comfortable for me to hold the outsides of the chair with my hands rather than having the hands flat. It's a little easier on my wrists. And then feet, heels lined up more or less underneath your hips. Bend your knees and find a little arch in the back. So inhale here, and then round your back as you exhale. Inhale, bending the knees helps to keep the hamstrings from feeling overstretched. But if you want to move them a little straighter and get a bit more stretch, you can do that. A few more rounds here. Try to keep your shoulders soft so they're not crunched up. You're pressing into the hands, long spine, rounding and arching the back. Great. And then just making sure you haven't got your grandmother's special crystal behind you or anything else that you could knock over. You're going to raise one leg, breathing in, and then lower that leg, round your back, breathing out. Raise the other leg. It doesn't matter how much. It could be as far as parallel to the ground, but not higher. And then exhale down and round. Inhale, lift. Exhale. A couple more. And then try staying for a few breaths. When you're staying, that back leg, toes point to the ground. The standing leg can be bent or straight. And if you feel sturdy and steady here, you can take whichever leg is on the ground, take the same arm, reach it out to the side. And then you can take your hand behind your back if that's comfortable for you, and find your balance here for a few breaths. Bring the hand down, bring the leg down, and then we'll stretch the other leg back and stay for a couple of breaths. Now, your leg could be lower than mine. It could be sort of parallel to the ground, lower. You could even have the toes on the ground if you need to. Then try taking the other arm out to the side, and then maybe bring it behind your back, palm up. But check in with your shoulder that that's comfortable, so you don't want to overdo it here. Great, and then bring that leg down, bring the hand down. Bend your knees. Inhale and lift all the way up. And exhale to release. So I'm just going to keep my chair handy, but I don't need it for the next one. So here, feet hip distance apart or so. And we'll warm up the legs a little bit more. So now working a bit more with the thighs. Lifting up, breathing in. We're going to come to the half squat. Exhale, hands to the thighs. Inhale to lift. Exhale, hands to the thighs. So you want to come down as if you're about to sit in a chair. Keep your chest lifted, so you don't want to round and come forward, but keep that lifted as you sit down. A couple more here. Stoking up the fire by using the big muscles of the legs, and you can pause here for a few breaths. And keep your chest lifted. If you want to work harder, if you want to stoke that fire even more, lift your arms up or even overhead. And if you really want to work your legs, sit down a little bit more, but be cautious with your knees. And you could also hold your chair here if you feel that that would be helpful. Make sure you're breathing. The fire needs air. All the way up, breathing in. And exhale and release. Take the feet apart a little ways and we'll roll the shoulders, one shoulder coming forward. Let your body twist and then the other shoulder goes forward and then back. Right, going the other direction. And let's come back to the center. So take the arms up and out to the sides in this kind of goalpost or cactus position, feet slightly apart. Take a breath in and let the heart lift, draw the shoulders back and the elbows down slightly. And then exhale, bring the hands together. Maybe bring the elbows together and round your upper back a little bit. So inhale, find this opening in the heart. Exhale, rounding. One more time. Okay. And then expanding and releasing. Good. And then just give everything a little shake. Shake it out. If you have your chair handy, you may want it again for this next one. So you're going to bring it to one end and face the chair. And again, it could be a counter or a table if you want to be a little bit higher up. And we'll take one foot towards the chair. And then the other foot turn slightly out to the side so that your toes point out to the side. So if it's your right foot, toes to the right, left foot, toes to the left. Bending the front knee so it's just over the ankle. So we don't want to go way beyond the ankle, which puts a strain on the knee. So it's just a little bit of a bend. Pressing into your back leg. Feel your back leg engage all the way from the hip down to the heel. You're pressing, almost like you're trying to dig your heel into the ground. Really feel that leg strong and active. And then from here, let's lift the arms up, breathing in. As you exhale, long spine, bringing the hands down to your chair. Again, it could be sides or flat on your chair. Let your head come down, any amount, and then lift back up. So we're coming up with the breath in, moving forward as you exhale. And if you want more stretch for that front leg, as you go forward, try moving the leg straighter. And then you can bend the knee as you lift up. And exhale, straighter, if that feels right for you. It's totally optional. Let's stay for a few breaths now. So hands under the shoulders. Moving the front leg straighter, or you can bend and straighten that leg if you feel like you need a little bit of warming up still for the back of that leg. For some people, those hamstrings are so tight, they just never want to give up. So being really patient, really loving and kind to your hamstrings, 3 big muscles that run from the hip to the knee. We can't force them. We can't force any muscle actually to stretch. If a muscle feels like it's being forced, it's going to resist. So from here, bend the front knee a little bit. We'll step both feet back now and turn both feet to face the chair. Bend your knees. Stretch your arms up so that your head is somewhere between your upper arms and the arms are stretched out towards your chair. If that's hard on your shoulders, walk the arms back. Keep more bend here in your shoulders. Take a few breaths wherever is comfortable for you. Another option would be to be closer to your chair with the hands under the shoulders for a little more support and ease for your shoulders. Right, when you're ready, the easiest way to come up is to walk first towards your chair, bend your knees, lift all the way up with the breath in, and then release. So from here, we'll try the other side. So I had my left foot forward last time. I'll have my right foot forward this time. You'll do whichever side you didn't do before. The back foot is turned out to the side up just a little ways so that your whole foot can be anchored down. And then you're going to engage from the hip down the leg into the heel. Again, as if you're driving that heel into the ground. Your front knee slightly bent over the ankle, just testing that distance. If you want to work harder here, further apart between the two legs, and then really digging into that back heel. So from here, you can reach up as you breathe in, and then move the leg maybe straighter as you come forward, or keep it bent as is right for you. So bending and lifting with the breath in, maybe going straighter with that front leg as you come forward. And again, you can stay for a few breaths. So as you're staying, the hands can be under the shoulders, on the sides of the chair, or flat if that's better for you. You can either have that front leg bent or straight or moving between the two. Great. And then try walking the feet back. So you've got your 2 feet back facing the chair, parallel to one another, about hip distance apart, and then finding just that right place where the feet are and the hands are too. And I'm going to move back a little bit here to allow the head to come down, and looking for a fairly straight line from hips to the fingertips. There may be a bend at the shoulders, especially if there's tightness there, so don't force your shoulders into that position. Finding what's comfortable, let your head release. And then to come up, you're going to walk towards your chair. Bend your knees. Inhale, lift all the way up. And exhale, release your arms down. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Lift the heart. Take a few breaths here. Relax your jaw, your neck, your shoulders, your face. Great. And then let's release. Circle the wrists a few times. Circling one way and then the other. And the shake. Bring your palms together, just right at that solar plexus area where the ribs meet. Just right between the heart and the ribs, bringing the hands together. And take a few breaths here as if you're fanning the flames of your inner fire. As I mentioned, 2 of the common visualizations for fire are as motivation and purification. So first I invite you to think about perhaps something that you would like to purify, something you'd like to send up into smoke in your life. And if you come up with something, you can just take the hands, open them, and as if you're laying that into your fire. Bring the hands together, take a breath in. And whatever you want to release, to purify, imagine that going into the fire. We'll do this one more time. Okay. And then lifting it up as if we could bring that fire nice and big. Exhale and release. So we'll come back to face our chair. This time staying a little closer to the chair, and we'll work with a series of postures that flow together. So from here, breathing in, lifting up. Bending the knees as you exhale, you can bring your hands to your chair. We'll step the right foot back, turning it out to the side. Inhale, lift, warrior one, just as we did before. Exhale, hands down. Take your back foot, turn it forward. Step the other foot back. Bend your knees and let the head come down, just as we did before. And then we'll step forward with the right foot, turning the left foot out. Inhale, lift all the way up in warrior one again. Exhale, hands down. Step forward. Bend your knees. Inhale and lift. And exhale to release. So we'll do that same thing on the other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come forward. We'll take the left leg first this time and step it back. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, come forward. You turn the back foot forward and step back. Bending the knees, let the head come down. And then stepping forward with the left foot. Right foot turns out. Inhale and lift. Exhale, come forward. Step your back foot forward. Bend your knees. Inhale and lift. Exhale and release. So we'll add on a little bit this time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward. Remember, bend your knees when you come into any forward bend. Take your right foot back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come forward. We're going to keep the hands on the chair, step onto the front foot, lift the back leg as we did earlier. Pause for a breath or two, and then step back. Turn that foot forward and step back with the other foot. Letting the head come down between the arms. Coming forward. Now here's an option for some of you. This may be comfortable for you. You need strong wrists here. You'll come forward. And you may need to step your feet back a little bit to bring your weight over your wrists. And then step back. We'll take the right foot forward. The left foot turns out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come forward. You're going to step onto the front foot. Lift the back leg. Take a breath or two here. Bring the foot back down. And then we'll step it forward to meet the other foot. Bend your knees. Inhale, lift. And exhale to release. Great. Let's do one more. And we'll add one more little option in there. So breathing in, lift up. Exhale, come forward. Your left leg will step back this time. Inhale and lift. Exhale, bring your hands down. So again, we're going to step onto the front foot. Lift the back leg. Maybe take the opposite arm to the side as we did earlier. And then maybe take the other arm to the side. You can keep one or both hands down or bring them down anytime you need to if you start to lose your balance. And then either bring the hands down first or step straight back to warrior one. Good, and then bring your hands down if they're not already. We'll step back, bend both knees, let the head come down. And then let's step forward with the other foot, turning the back foot out. We'll inhale, warrior one. I hope I'm not going too fast for you. And then come forward. So find your balance on your standing foot now, reaching the back leg up. Again, you can try first the opposite arm. So I've got left leg up, right arm out. And then maybe, if it feels doable, arms out to the sides. I realize I could cheat here, bringing my forehead down. So whatever works. Bring the hands down, step back, warrior one. Lifting up. And then coming forward, bringing the feet together. Bend your knees, lift all the way up. And exhale to release. And let's come to mountain pose and just feel the energy in the body now. So those sun salutations may have got a little bit of heat going in your body. Maybe your heart is pumping a little bit more now with that little bit of movement. Just take a moment to feel your body, feel the energy, the fire, the warmth. Wonderful. So take your time. We're going to make our way down to the ground. You can move your chair right out of the way. Just adjust the camera a little bit. So you can come to lie down on your mat. And when you get there, bring your hands again onto your belly. Maybe one hand onto the solar plexus, one hand onto the lower belly, or both hands around the solar plexus, whatever is comfortable for you. And then take a few breaths here. See if you can feel your lower back really relax as you exhale. And as you inhale, imagine that you're fanning the flame of that internal fire, inviting motivation and purification through your breath, through your awareness, your visualization of that fire. And anything in your life that's no longer working for you, imagine yourself putting that in the fire. It could be a way of being, it could be some extra stuff you've got around the house that you want to get rid of. You can just imagine that going into the fire. A few more breaths here. And then let that fire act as motivation to take action on those things that you've just imagined that you want to purify from your life. Let's bring one knee in towards the chest now. You can reach around your shin or behind your thigh. And just let the weight of your hands draw that leg in toward your body. So there's no effort here. You're not forcing or pulling on that leg. Just letting the leg move in toward your body very gently. And then you can slowly move the leg a little straighter, a little more bent. And here you may find it's more comfortable just to let go of the leg, especially if your arms are a little shorter and you have to really reach to get around the leg, or if your leg is tighter and it's further away. Holding on doesn't feel very comfortable, so whatever works best for you. You can keep the leg in the air, circle your ankle around. Do this slowly. Really see if you can notice where you feel the movement. The shin, the calf, maybe the back of the knee, or even into the back of the leg is possible. A few circles one way and then the other way. Okay, and then you can relax your ankle, give that leg a shake. Now keep your hands somewhere on your belly. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, press your heel up towards the ceiling. Keep engaged to the core and start to slowly lower your leg to the ground. And then when your leg reaches the ground, reach out through the heel, so leg growing long. And then take the other arm and extend it up towards the space behind you. You can bend that arm if it's easier for your shoulder. Maybe don't bring it all the way to the ground. Sometimes people will bring a bolster, a block, or a blanket behind you to rest the hand on, so whatever feels comfortable. And then reach from fingertips to foot. Breathe into that whole long side of your body. And then slowly lower your arm down. Slowly bend that knee. Take a moment to notice the two sides of your body, the side that we've just worked with and the other side. Notice any difference that you might feel. And then when you're ready, bringing the other knee in. So again, it could be hands over the shin or behind the thigh, whatever is comfortable. Again, it's not pulling the leg in, but feeling that gravity is doing the work, drawing the knee towards the body. And then either holding onto the leg or not, you can start to bend and straighten a few times. You're just looking for that nice, easeful stretch here in the back of the leg. We've already done a little bit for the hamstrings today, so inviting a little bit more warmth and movement. When we move dynamically in these postures, we're inviting the muscle to lengthen and contract, and that brings some heat and warmth to the area and allows things to start to become more elastic and more fluid. You can leave the leg in the air, circle the ankle, circle slowly, and see if you can really feel where the movement goes. And then hands back to the belly, and that's to help keep engaged, keep the lower back safe. Press the heel toward the ceiling. If it's too much to do this with a straight leg, bend the knee. Take as many breaths as you need to slowly lower the leg to the ground. If it feels like a strain in the abdominal area or lower back, or anywhere for that matter, you'll just bend the knee and bring the foot to the floor at any time. Or lowering it straight down. And if you've brought the foot to the floor bent, you're going to straighten that leg and then extend the arm on that same side up over your head and reach from your heel to your fingertips. Again, modifying as necessary for any discomfort in your shoulder. So that could be bending, taking it to the side, or limiting the movement overhead in some way. Okay, and then bringing the hand back to the belly, the foot back to the floor. Take a moment here. And then you can either keep the hands on the solar plexus area, the belly area, or you can move the arms to the sides. We're going to work with a gentle twist. So the twist, we think of it as a spinal twist, but it's actually a twist as well for the organs. So as you go to one side, exhaling, you'll feel that twist through the center of the body, through the torso, through the core. You'll come back to the center on the inhale, and exhale, going the other way. So with the hands on the body, you can feel that little bit of twisting movement. But if it's more comfortable, arms to the sides, totally fine. gradually come back to the center. And bring one hand onto each knee, bringing the knees toward the chest. And draw the knees forward and back. So exhale as you draw the knees in. Inhale as you move the knees away. Move at your own pace. And give the knees a squeeze, maybe rock a little side to side. There's other movements that would feel good. Maybe circling the knees would be good to you. Circle the knees around. One way and then the other. And then releasing the feet to the floor. You can extend both legs. Maybe extend the arms. Again, making sure your shoulders are okay with this. Modify as you need to. Reaching up, rolling long. Take a few breaths here, as long as you're comfortable here. And with your exhale, feel how your belly kind of hollows. The belly moves back toward the spine. As you inhale, you might imagine breathing into the belly and then exhale. Feel the belly hollow. Especially in here around the space between the rib cage. You can use a hand to feel that or just feel it with your breath. And eventually lowering your arms. And if there's any other movement that would feel good to you, you can do whatever you might find helpful. We're going to move next into Shavasana. So just whatever movement might feel good to your body, stretch, move, wiggle, whatever is right for you. And then when you feel ready, you can make your way to stillness on the ground. You can sit for Shavasana or you can lie down. I'm going to come back to my chair here, but you're welcome to stay on your mat. So take your time to find the most comfortable position. Use a blanket or pillow to support your head, maybe a cushion or a blanket or, excuse me, bolster under your knees. If you're at all chilly, cover up so that you can really relax. It's hard to relax when you're cold. Let your breath be really relaxed, totally controlled. So you're just breathing in whatever way feels right for you. You're not trying to control or limit or force the breath in any way at all. But do have an awareness of your exhale as a kind of letting go. So each breath cycle, when you exhale, see if you can feel your body letting go of tension. Feel yourself kind of sink into the ground. Feel yourself letting go of any holding in the major muscles of your body. So the ones that are really obvious, right? When we're clenching the hands or we're clenching the thighs, it's more obvious when those big muscles are engaged. So as you are able and as you're aware, soften with your exhale. Feel the weight of your body on the ground and feel yourself get even a little bit heavier with each exhalation, almost like you're dropping into the floor, as if the floor were made of soft moss. And as you exhale, you sink a little bit more into that softness. Let your belly completely relax all around the lower abdomen, all around the solar plexus where the ribs meet. As you breathe in, let that area gently expand naturally, not forcing it at all. And as you exhale, let the belly soften back toward the ground, the lower back relaxing, letting go. And as you relax all around the center of your body, feeling also the lower back releasing, the buttocks softening, a sense of relaxation all around your hips, sinking into the earth through the pelvis. Softening the thighs, the front and back of the thighs. We worked with both today. So letting the thighs relax and feel your kneecaps drop a little as you relax all the muscles of your thighs. Relax your calves and shins and feel your ankles let go and your feet get heavy. Coming back to the belly, checking in that you haven't brought tension there. And if you have, softening again, letting go and releasing. Exhaling, moving up now, feeling all around the rib cage, the front, the back, and the sides. Finding a little ease there. As you exhale, feel your shoulders drop a little more. Your arms and your hands release and relax. Softening around your jaw, neck, face, around your mouth, your eyes, across your forehead, letting go. And then let the weight of your head sink down so that your neck can even relax a little bit more. Breathing without any effort. Let the breath come and go. And even this soft, subtle breath gently fans the flame of your inner fire, inviting motivation and purification. Another way that the light or the fire helps us is to be able to see clearly. And when we can see clearly, we can speak our truth with more conviction. When we see what we need, when we see things clearly, we're able to communicate those needs more clearly. I'll share a very small snippet of a chant today that talks about fire and how fire has that process of burning away impurities, and allowing us to see clearly so that we can speak our truth. Agnir me vachi shritaha Vagrudaye Rudayam Mahi Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani Agnir me vachi shritaha Vagrudaye Rudayam Mahi Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So as always, if you want to stay more in Shavasana, you just stay where you are and enjoy a little more time relaxing and integrating the practice from today. And if you feel ready to move and to bring some life back into your body, you can start to wiggle your fingers and toes and move and stretch slowly, gently, in whatever way would feel good. You'll gradually make your way back to sitting, so whether that's on the floor or couch or your chair, coming back upright. And bringing one hand to the solar plexus, one hand to the heart. And if it interests you, you might make a commitment today to notice where you're stuck, where you need some of the motivation of the fire. And tuning into this fiery center of the body and digging in for motivation, digging in for purification where it's needed in your life. And doing that all with the support of an open, generous heart. So we're not beating ourselves up, but being kind, being loving to ourselves. And then let's take the energy of the fire, the energy of the heart, bring them together, bringing the palms together. Namaste.